Here we are at the 680 Studios once again with some terrific guests this morning, Rebecca Romijn and John Tenney, in a new show called King and Maxwell. And they're here to talk to us this morning about this detective crime series drama, and it's really, really fun. Guys, I got to tell you, I watched this first episode, and I think one of the most charming things is how well you two get along together, and you bicker and you have fun. And did you know each other before the show began?
We did not.
Not at all.
Not at all.
Not at all.
And it's funny. I auditioned for this. John was already attached to it, and I came in and auditioned on a Friday, and then they brought me in the following week for a chemistry test.
Yeah, we had a chemistry read.
They call it. It's such a strange thing.
Chemistry test?
Yes.
What is that?
What is that? Yeah. No. Well, but what was really fun was that we started talking outside the room, before we went in to do this little scripted scene, and we were just talking and talking and talking. And then we kind of moved into the room and continued to just talk and talk and talk, only
it was scripted part.
Then it was scripted, so it just kind of flowed really nicely.
It seemed like it made sense in the room,
Now, is that a lot of pressure? I mean, they're saying, can these people get along? I mean, was the pressure on?
Well, either you do or you don't.
Right, yes.
No pressure.
Right.
It's like either you like each other or you don't like each other.
And that's, exactly. So
now, for people who are going to watch the series, you're CIA or
ex-Secret Service.
Secret Service. But now you're not in the Secret Service anymore.
We're ex-Secret Service turned private investigator. But you said when you were introducing the show, you talked about how fun it was, and that's like I'm glad you felt that way, because we think of it as a fun show.
Yeah.
I mean, we like to, you take the ride with these characters.
We're crime solvers, but it's not very heavy. It's, a little bit of a throwback, where it's a buddy show, but it's also got a little bit of a
But it's also sexy.
A little bit sexy, you're hoping, you're going in for the will they or won't they element of it.
A little of that. There's action. I mean, I love it as an actor because there's action, there's comedy, there's some drama. There's she's the sexy part. But
I know a lot of women who would disagree with that.
Well, that's right. Okay, there we go. Well, okay, I'll take that.
And it shows how important it is, and you're saying it's good for the actors. I mean, it shows how important, no matter how good the story or the drama, it's the characters, and it's what you guys bring to those characters that really makes the show cohesive.
Thank you. It's a real character-driven show. It's almost more about the characters than anything else. We're asking you to care about the characters, and if you don't care about the characters, you're not going to like the show.
There you go. Exactly. There you go. It's not.
Just briefly, tell me a little bit about these two. What is their relationship? Are they friends? Are they more than friends?
Well, I think they respect each other. Mm-hmm. I think they are friends. I think they approach crime solving in a very different way, and I think that we like to say he's sort of the man of words and she's the woman of action, and it kind of drives each other crazy a little bit.
I think they really need each other, and they probably have some deep feelings for each other, which they will not admit to, not even to themselves. My character is an athlete.
Every now and then a little bit, but then
every now and then just a little bit, just a little hint of it. My character is an athlete, a former Olympic rower, and so, she goes in for the action. I like to say that he's the talker and Michelle is the talker and Michelle is the doer.
She gets stuff done. But I always have her back. That's the thing.
Right.
I always have your back.
Yeah, I think there's one line in that first episode where you say, "Oh no, she can take care of herself."
Oh yeah, she can definitely take care of herself. Absolutely.
I've shot a lot of fight sequences so far.
Yes, she can throw a punch. This one.
Now, was that a challenge for you, Rebecca, or are you well used to being very physical, given your role in Mystique?
I've done quite a bit of physical work. I've never done martial arts training before, which I had to do for this, and weapons training because my character she likes to shoot a gun, and I also had to do, my character's a former Olympic rower, so I had to do some training on Lake Ontario in a single person skull in November, and the boat flipped. It was a cold
I was
day.
Standing warmly on the shore, watching her row, very dry, and she was doing all the heavy lifting or heavy rowing.
We shot the pilot here in Toronto in November.
Okay, I was going to ask you because it says it's shot in Vancouver. I could have sworn that was Toronto.
The series was shot in Vancouver, and we shot the pilot here.
But doesn't it look like Washington, D.C.?
It does.
Yes, doubling for Washington, D.C.
Yes.
Toronto's good that way. It can be anywhere.
Right, there we go.
Absolutely. Right. So what was aside from freezing in Lake Ontario, what is the biggest challenge doing a long-running series where you're doing a lot of work every day?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, we do work a lot of long hours. But
The hours are long. I think probably, but we both have families. We both live in Los Angeles, and so it's probably tough to be away from our families for long periods of time and to work that many hours. I have 4-year-old twins, so it's tough to juggle that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And to be away from them for so long. But
Yeah, filming out of town is the hardest. That's definitely the
I
hardest
think that's
part.
the biggest challenge.
But,
Well, John, you've had a lot of experience on a long-running series with The Closer.
Yes, although that was in town. I was living in I live in Los Angeles, and so that was actually, it was a blessing that it was in town, yeah.
And how did you like Vancouver?
We love it. I mean, I've actually shot there a lot as well. We shot, all the X-Men movies are shot either here or Vancouver, and so I've spent a lot of time here and there.
Yeah.
It's a great city.
Yeah. John, have you spent much time there?
Years ago, I'd done a little thing up in Vancouver, but I was sort of discovering it a bit this time, and I mean, it's beautiful, and it was actually very convenient to Los Angeles. We're in the same time zone, which always made talking to my daughter much easier and all that sort of stuff.
And you're not too far away when you're in Vancouver.
No,
it's a short flight, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
No, not bad at all.
That's good. With the crime series, do you have any favorite crime series from the past, like Moonlighting, that you particularly enjoyed yourselves?
I was a fan of Moonlighting.
I was a fan of Moonlighting.
I loved it. I loved Takes a Thief. I liked that. I liked all those things. The crimes, Heart to Heart. I loved. Yeah, I loved.
Three's Company.
Yes, Three's Company, very good. The Honeymooners, loved the Honeymooners.
I Love Lucy. That was a great.
I Love Lucy, excellent.
What do you think accounts? People love these crime mysteries. What do you think accounts for the popularity of this type of show?
This is based on a popular series of books by David Baldacci, and I don't know how familiar you are with his books, but I mean they're well loved internationally, and so
He's only sold like 100 million copies.
that's
I
all,
think.
just 100 million copies.
But yeah, he created these characters, Sean King and Michelle Maxwell, and there are actually 5 books in the series. He's got a new one coming out in the fall, actually, called King and Maxwell. So there was a fan base for these characters existing out there. So there was a little pressure to like be true to these characters that have been created in these stories,
and not let down the fans of the books.
Right. I mean, we took license. We definitely looked at it as a sort of point of departure.
Yes.
But he was one of the producers. David Baldacci was. So he was blessing everything all along the way.
Yeah.
So
Nice. And did you read the books beforehand? A lot of them.
I did.
Yes.
I did. Absolutely.
You guys did your homework.
Have to read the source
Very
material.
good.
Absolutely.
We don't want to let people down.
No.
Pressure's on.
We actually like to read.
We always like
Surprise,
to hear
surprise. Reading is good. Reading is good.
Fundamental.
Yes.
So you and it just I mean I've only watched the pilot episode, but you guys just seem so natural together with the dialogue. Was there a lot of ad-libbing, or did you stick precisely to the script?
There was some ad-libbing.
There was some ad-libbing.
Yeah.
There was
a lot of it that made it in the final cut.
Yeah.
Sometimes you do ad-libs and,
like the very end of the pilot episode, right.
the very end of the pilot episode, in the script it just said, and we go off on their banter.
Yeah.
And we were like, oh, so there's
And as the
nothing
camera pulls back on their banter,
Off of
we
their
fade
banter.
out.
And it was like,
so we're
what
like,
is-
well, what is this banter?
Okay.
And they're like, well, so we got, we're fighting the light. I remember when we shot that scene, we're walking away and
It was
and
rainy.
It was rainy and the light was
light was
like,
going
we got to get
down.
this quick because we're losing the light. And I'm like, well, it just says the banter, like just banter. There's no banter written. It says banter, but what banter? And they were like, you just do something. Well, we're gonna be back, and we'll if we don't like what you're saying, we'll re-record it.
It all made it in.
It all made it in.
It all made it in. Yeah, it's funny. And then they've done that to us a number of times. And one time they did it at like 3 in the morning. I was like, no, I'm sorry. I don't banter after 2 a.m.
Fortunately, we've been filming for a while, so we were sort of in the skins of the characters, so we could kind of get it going.
Yeah.
But
Rebecca, you've done a lot of films. John, you've done a lot of TV. There's a lot of talk now that really TV work is surpassing film work in terms of really interesting projects. How do you feel about that?
Oh, I feel like that. I feel like this is really the golden age of television. Television has never been better.
yes, there's a lot of
fantastic industry.
really smart, great storytelling out there in television. Yeah, it's exciting.
Yeah.
It's exciting. And there are so many outlets, with the cable and all sorts of, outlets for material. It's exciting.
Yeah,
Exciting.
yeah. Any chance you'll be doing a cameo in the upcoming X-Men movie?
Not this time around. Not this time around. Maybe next time. We'll see. No, we were very busy doing our show the whole time that's been
Yeah,
shooting.
we were filming concurrently.
Yes.
Yeah. And John, how did you enjoy doing the newsroom?
I love doing the newsroom. I mean, Aaron Sorkin's an amazing writer. That was a great group of actors, great group of writers, directors. That was a fun little arc.
That's great.
So.
We'll have to take you into our newsroom before you go.
Yes,
get
please.
Get a real peek.
Please.
It's very realistic, that show. Does that scare you?
Oh, it is. They take great pains to make that very realistic. Yeah.
And anything else coming up for you guys?
I'm back to we're done shooting our season.
We just
so
finished.
My husband is shooting his new show, which is a CBS show that shoots in Los Angeles. So I'm back being.
They're a very successful power couple.
Well, I don't know about that, but I'm back on diaper duty with my children. I'm back as mom in charge.
And how are you enjoying that?
It's it's a tough job in and of its own.
Hardest thing about having twins?
It just, now that they're 4.5, it just got a lot easier because they really keep each other great company. I didn't realize how tough it was the first couple of years, but now that I'm looking back on it, it was tough.
It's a lot of work.
Her kids are amazing. She's a great mom. They came up to the set, and Charlie and Dolly. God
Charlie and
bless
Dolly,
them,
they're
man.
obsessed
They
with
are
John.
just. I love
They're
those
little
kids.
monkeys. They're all over him.
I know. I feel like a human jungle gym when they come by. It's just fantastic. So.
And John, now that the closer is over, what do you think looking
Well,
back?
I'm doing Fritz, who I played on The Closer, is going to be making an appearance in Major Crimes. So I will be going to do one of those, a couple of those. So I'll reunite with some of my old friends on that show. So that'll be fun.
So we're going to show John Tenney, a real newsroom.
Hey.
All right. Let me see if I see anything familiar.
Yeah, okay. This is the real newsroom. This is the computers. This is the real thing here.
And I see if this goes down, it's a bad thing.
That's right. That goes down. No newsroom. We do live sports here, live business here. This is our news directors. He runs the show. Okay.
It's very busy.
But there's something tranquil here with all the news going on.
Yeah.
Sure.
Scott Metcalf. John.
Hi, John. Nice to
Big
meet you.
fan.
Oh, thank you.
My wife's a huge fan of
Oh.
Hi, Scott
Hi,
Metcalf.
Rebecca. Hi.
Nice to meet you. So we'll be watching that show for sure.
Oh, excellent.
When-
Excellent.
When
Thanks
are you
so
guys
much.
on in Canada?
27th.
27th.
August 27th. We premiere.
10 p.m.
Right.
Absolutely.
So,
Okay, we'll just give you a quick tour around to show you the on-air booth.
Thank you.
hi, thanks.
Style in the Sinai Peninsula
Live
today.
on air.
CNN's Nick Patton-Walsh is in Egypt with some insight into the move.
We also heard from the head of
I'll take you in. What the hell? Hey guys. This is John Tenney, who's been on the newsroom, so we're going to show him a real newsroom.
Hello. How are you?
And Rebecca Romaine. How are you?
Hello. Just getting a tour.
It's not as nice as the TV newsroom, but we do our best.
It's very nice.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Bacon. Thanks. Nice to meet you all.
Cheers.
I want to hear this. I want to listen to I want to know what's going on in Egypt. I want to know what's happening in Egypt.